What's going on, Guardians? Uh, where do I start? Thank you so much for everyone who has been supporting the channel. It's meant so much to see all the wonderful comments. There's a couple trolls there here and there, but the majority of it has really been geared towards what we're trying to do here, game, learn, and grow. So really appreciate everyone who's joined in, who's been a part of the conversation. I'm trying to get to as many comments as I can. So please have grace with me. But what I wanted to do just quickly today, it's a little bit of shorter video. We're not going to be super editing today, but a lot of you all had some really great questions as well as some offerings on the vault cleaning. I was about to say episode, vault cleaning episode. Also, excuse my voice. I am a little bit under the weather. Um, I have a pretty late work schedule this week. So, I just wanted to get this out before I get super busy in the week, but excuse my voice as I am a little bit under the weather. But um, that's enough intro. So the thing that came up a couple times is just getting a little bit more examples of what it looks like to get rid of duplicates. So one thing, please stop making fun of me. As you can clearly see, I've gotten down. I am no longer at 599 out of 600, right? um, so off screen after I finished the video, I did go ahead and use the methods I talked about to eliminate things. And what I really want to get down to is below 570. That's my personal kind of rule of thumb. Your threshold may be different, but again, that's totally up to you. So um, we're not going to really talk about that. I just want to kind of quickly follow up on all the great questions that folks have had about duplicates. And so, um, again, this is where when we get to the part of the video when we're talking about identifying things in dim, uh, when you get to dim and your screen looks similar to mine, you may have more or less things than me. What you can do when you're thinking about excuse me, I'm just gonna record through this. This is unadulterated, unedited. So appreciate folks bearing with me today. But yeah, so with the duplicates, right? When we're thinking about the duplicates, we've gone into dim, we've logged in, we've followed all the steps that we did earlier. If you specifically want to target a group of duplicates, what you can do is you've logged in dim, you click on the thing that you see has a lot of duplicates, or just a weapon that you want to look at, right? And then what you can do is use this compare option. The reason why we do this is that when we click compare, compare pulls up every version of that weapon that we own, right? And so, excuse me, I apologize. In real time, we're gonna edit these. So the goal here for me, and I think it's important to set goals, is for most of my weapons, I only like to keep two versions. For some people, that's too much, but that's just my rule of thumb. I keep a PVE, a really good version for PVE, or that I feel comfortable using in PVE. Again, I do main PVE as my main game mode, and then I like to also keep a version that's really solid for PvP. And so when I'm looking at those two types of roles, and we have all these options, there's a number of different ways that you can actually look at this, right? So when you click any of these columns on the left hand side, let me move this over. Again, editing in real time, so appreciate folks bear with me. But when you're looking at these columns on the left hand side, they give you all the various stats. So the fire rate for the weapons, the impact for the weapons, and all these different things. As you'll see in white, whenever something is white, that's like the base intrinsic stat for the weapon, right? So all these sniper rifles, all these versions of Macabre, right, are gonna have an RPM of 72. Impacted 90, so right, we really don't have to like worry about that. Also when we think about aim and the aim assist value, is 41, so those aren't going to change. What we see shift is this coloration of red, green, and yellow. Again, for those who are familiar, you know this process. So again, I'm just setting a baseline. But again, red means that the value is lower. Green means that the value is higher for that specific role, and then yellow in terms of the recoil value. So for me, recoil value is more of a PvP thing. So what we're really going to focus on of all these things is like looking at these different rows that we have available to us, now I want to start to look at the columns. So I'm looking at a column. You're looking at specifically an aggressive frame sniper rifle. We know that we're not going to get more than four shots, right? So when we think about this, one of the roles that is really good, but also, excuse me, traits rather, that's really good, but also isn't super viable is something like triple tap, right? So triple tap, if you land precision shots, successfully, you get one more ammo to the magazine. Again, this is a great role. I love this, especially for like heavy linears. But when we're talking about, again, this is my preference. Folks in the comment, feel free to add your own offerings. But for me, when I'm thinking about a sniper rifle, my preference leans more towards not going for a roll like triple tap because if I only have four bullets and I've used up three of those bullets, yes, I get the refund of that ammo, one ammo to the chamber, but then essentially after that, I'm out and I have to reload anyway. So if we're thinking about an 8 to 10 second, maybe 15-second damage window for a boss or mini boss, for me, I'm going to take triple tap on like a heavy linear weapon that has more ammo and maybe also pairing triple tap with clown cartridge where there's a little bit more to play around with. If you're unfamiliar with any of these traits, I definitely encourage you to go to um, light.gg and we'll put that on the screen, but light.gg and look up these traits. So I'm not going to go into that deeply. So when we're thinking about that, what are some of the things I'm looking for? So obviously, Dim has their own thumbs up of what they think are really good, but what I'm really trying to solidify is what's good for my playstyle. And so one of the first things that I'm really interested in, and we're gonna scroll back over. LOL. I know this is like super, super, we're super on the fly today. So appreciate everyone's grace in advance. But one of the curated roles that we got from Macabre, again, Macabre, if I didn't say this already, is from Festival of the Lost. For this Festival of the Lost is over. But what we do have here is the sniper rifle that people can choose from, right? So this was the curated role that everyone got. And for me, it's a really solid role for PvP specifically, right? Great range, recoil direction is very manageable. Again, there's a range masterwork on it as well, so that's also really good. And then the main traits that we're looking at are opening shot, which improves your accuracy on your first shot, which is really great in PvP. We have snapshot sights. Again, snapshot has gotten a rework, but again, snapshot just makes it. As I kind of talk about in the PvP realm, it feels more sticky. So when you're aiming your weapon down sights and you're looking at your enemy, um, uh, that aim assist cone is really helping you out. So that plus opening shot is really helpful. That you're getting a lot of aim assist and support on that first shot when you're aiming down. Accurized rounds because again you can fire longer distance. Again, we've already maxed out range, but accurized rounds is just a good trait. And again, corkscrew barreling. So again, we have that additional stability and handling. So really solid role. I know this is the PvP role I want to keep in my vault. The rest of it, I'm really not worried about. So that I'm going to shorten the process. So now, knowing that this is, I don't know if you all can hear my cat in the background. Apologies. Um, so now that we have my PvP role, again, it's a curator role. It's a great role. Really don't need to like think too much about it. I'm going to keep that locked. And now what we're going to look for is what would be a good role for PvE. For me, when I'm thinking about this, again, we kind of already ruled out triple tap, but what I am still interested in is specifically Vorpal. Again, Vorpal, a lot of people have ruled out because Vorpal did get a nerf, but to me, it's still valuable to have perks that you don't have to proc, right? Perks that are just on the weapon itself. So when I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking about Vorpal, I'm thinking about Frenzy, I'm thinking about Moving Target, I'm thinking about things that I don't have to think about when I'm playing the game because the perk, the benefit to the weapon or the armor piece is already there. So for me, I like having that. Again, you can look at the additional stats right there, but I like having that additional weapon damage there. Another trait I also like is Clown Cartridge. Clown Cartridge refills when you're out of ammo. It randomly refills your weapon with additional bullets. So again, it just randomly overfills it. You can't really predict what's going to happen. But this for me is a really great combo. And then also we can look at the masterwork. There's a range masterwork. So if I'm thinking about PvE, not only am I going to get range, I'm going to get additional buff in terms of damage. And then when I'm reloading, especially if we have an extended damage phase, we have extended damage phase. When I'm reloading, I have the chance to get more than 4 bullets in my magazine. So really like that. So I'm gonna keep that locked. Um, Other things I'm looking at, again, we have Clown Cartridge and Moving Target. Again, I think Moving Target is more of a PvP thing. Again, increased movement speed and target acquisition. So again, we already have our PvP role. For PvE, not really our style. So we're going to keep that unlocked. Also, another great perk to trait, perk, whatever you want to call it, um, is no distractions. So no distractions, moving target is actually a really great combo. Again, you get that increased movement speed, you get that additional aim assist, but then also when you're aiming down sight, you get that additional flinch reduction, which is super key if you are a sniper. I'm not a sniper mate, so it doesn't really matter as much to me in terms of getting that additional flinch. Uh, Very similar role with these two. So I'm actually going to click the lock button and it's going to unlock it, telling me that, showing me that I don't need those things anymore. So again, we have our curated role that we're going to have for PvP. And right now, if we're looking at it, the next kind of role that really looks good for me and my playstyle is being able to get that passive buff of Vorpal, getting the benefit of Clown Cartridge to get extra ammo in my magazine when I reload. And then also we're going to look at appended mag. So not only do we get an additional magazine size, but also arrowhead break, which giving us that additional handing and recoil direction. The reason why this is important, before I kind of get to these last few roles and then close out, is because for my playstyle, and again, this is where you have to really analyze your own playstyle. For my playstyle, I'm very interested in what are the things I can do to make sure I'm supporting my team. As I've said before, I am a support main on all of my characters, and so whether I'm on my Titan, my Hunter, or a Warlock, what I'm really interested in doing is, do I have enough ammo? Do I have enough damage? In addition to my abilities and other things I'm bringing to the table, do I actually have those additional components that are going to help me, get to the objective? So again, if it's destroying a boss, being able to have that little bit of boosted damage, again, Vorpal got nerfed. It's a personal preference. But again, I don't have to think about it. I can just pick up the weapon and start shooting, right? And then for Clown Cartridge, once I've finished out my mag, then I have the ability to get extra ammo and magazine. So maybe someone else is reloading, and they just need that extra 2 seconds to reload. I can keep doing damage because I have extra bullets and I have that damage buff. There's a couple other things. Slick Draw introduced this season, season 18. Not super popular in terms of like its increases. Um, More of a PvP role. Opening shot, triple tap. We talked about the triple tap earlier. More of a PvP role. Um, Perpetual motion, I actually have found to be really helpful in PvE, but it's combined with moving target. So for me, when we're thinking about increased movement speed, aim assist, those things, I equate those more with PvP than I do with PvE, where I'm looking more for ease of access and the ability to actually like get damage output out. Again, Vorpal here, again, we like that, but it's combined with no distractions. Again, no distractions. Flinch resistance is nice if you're thinking about an encounter like War Priest and you're continuously getting hit, and that flinch is having an impact on your ability to hit crit shots. But again, I'd rather swap that out for something that's going to allow me to do more damage. Because again, more bullets, more damage buffs, more damage. I think I said that correctly. The math checks out. Maybe it doesn't check out. Let me know in the comments. Um, but yeah, as we're going to look at all these things, the last thing I'll offer before we go in and delete them is I've unlocked what I don't want. I've kept locked this role, which I'm kind of honing down for my PvE role again. The Vorpal, Clown Cartridge, Appendant Mag, and Arrowhead Break role. And then if we scroll down, we still have the PvP role. Again, something that's going to really help us with the aim assist, locking onto the enemy's head and being able to get those snipes out. Those are the two roles I want to keep. The biggest thing I can offer in closing is that when you're thinking about these roles and you're thinking about getting rid of duplicates, just keep two things in mind. I would ask is that one, what's your play style? What actually like feels good for you? Maybe you really don't care about that extra Vorpal damage buff and you want something like auto loading. You want something like auto loading, or you want something like moving target. Like, pick that, right? The biggest thing is you feeling comfortable with the weapon, you feeling comfortable with your play style and how it fits into your role. So again, when I'm thinking about snipers, I'm thinking about the ability to do some high damage from long range. And so for you, if you really want to be able to have that additional um, stability, and you want something like perpetual motion, if you want something like volt shot, which has some very niche uses, pick whatever the traits that are going to work for you and your play style. And if it doesn't work, obviously you can't grind for this weapon anymore because festival loss is over. But the next time it's in rotation, you have the opportunity to think about, well, I like this role and I'm gonna keep playing with it, or I didn't like the role, I'm going to try and grind for something else. So now we're going to switch over to Destiny. All right, so we've logged into Destiny. We're at the helm now to look at our vault. And so what we're going to do, we're going to access our vault. This is something I actually did not talk about in the last video. But when we're looking at our vault, there's a couple different ways. They're not really great ways right now, just the way Bungie has it set up. Um, to get things sorted. But again, what we're going to do, we're going to keep on the default tab. And then with the default tab sorting option, it automatically will sort the same weapons that you have available, right? So again, rather than trying to jump through a bunch of hoops, what I'm just going to do is scroll over until I see the Macabre. And so when I use the default mode again, all my Macabre, let me make sure. Yeah. So this is all my Macabre on the same row. And then you'll see that, I have the ones that are locked, and then I have the ones that are unlocked, right? So what I'm just going to go do is that we did the whole analysis earlier, and then figure out which roles we want and we don't want. And in real time, you are seeing my vault go down. And then again, you can see right here, this is locked. This is the Clown Cartridge Vorpal roll. I've yet to try it out. As you can see, I still have to unlock the deep sight. But again, I'm clicking to dismantle. I can't because I locked it inside of dim. So we're just going to continue deleting the other ones that I purposely kept unlocked. And so again, we come back to this other role. We have a no distractions opening shot, and we forgot to unlock it, right? So this is actually not one of the roles we want. Remember, we said that no distractions really doesn't work for our playstyle. So again, in real time, you have the opportunity to kind of check your math. We have this other no distractions role that we really weren't fond of. And then we have this role right here. So again, we've gotten down to the two roles that we want. We've been able to easily delete what we didn't want. And again, when we come back to, again, just looking at this default sorted role, it will automatically pair together what are your duplicates. So you look like, you can see right here, my strident whistle, those are picked together. My staccatos are picked together. My crisis inverted are picked together, so on and so forth. So this is a really easy way to keep things organized. I'm going to stop here. But if there's more questions, there's more things that folks would like to see in terms of like follow up walkthroughs. This is what the channel is here for. If you enjoyed this content, I know it's a little bit more rough on the editing side. Please forgive me, just not feeling great this week, and work is keeping me super busy. But I hope you all are doing well. I hope you all have great rest of your weeks. Hope you all are getting rest, taking care of yourselves. And yeah, what other content like this that you would like to see, I have some other videos planned that are on different topics. But if you'd like to see some more of these walkthroughs, just let me know. A like would be appreciated. It's not demanded of you. Sharing would be appreciated. It's not demanded of you. Subscribe if you want to. But yeah, we're just building a community over here, helping the community get better through the highs and lows. Bungie doesn't do everything perfectly. We know that. The community doesn't do everything perfectly, and we know that. And so we're just trying to carve out a little section of the community where we can, fail, because we're human and we're gonna fail, but get better with each and every day. So, thank you all for your time. That's all. That's all I have for now. And yeah, we'll see you next time.